What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I am Jess. Thanks for clicking on today's video. I have a short and sweet video for you today. It's about discipline. It's also about my week 259 update of my weight loss journey, or my journey to rewind my health from a morbidly obese weight to a healthy weight by truly changing my life and my bad habits and switching over to a high protein, low carb, keto lifestyle. Now remember, I'm not a medical doctor, not a healthcare professional. This is my story, my own experience, what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I'm not a fitness expert. I'm just not all those things. I'm just a girl trying her hardest to overcome this obesity battle. At the end of the day, take what I say with a grain of salt. Use it for weight loss inspiration. Use it for your weight loss inspiration, your motivation, what not to do, like whatever it is, just take everything I say with a grain of salt and you do you. If you do like what I say and you want to be inspired, you can relate to what I'm going through and you want to encourage and join me along the way, use that subscribe button down below. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss any videos, and we can do this together. So with that said, let's talk about today's video. Okay, so it is week 259. I was not here last week. Nothing happened. My parents were here for the last week and I spent the time with them. Simple as that. So now, now that we're approaching a new month, I have been doing kind of like the 75 soft routine since October. So I'm continuing that on. But I wanted to talk about a few things today that I'm going to switch up. And I haven't messed with my macros for a while. So today's video is going to be about two things. One, I haven't changed my macros, tracked macros, calculated macros. I have not really put a lot of emphasis on nutrition for a while. And I noticed the scale's not moving. So one of the absolute easiest things to tweak is your nutrition, because after all, 98% of your weight loss journey is going to come down to what you're eating. The other 2% is everything else in between. So in other words, that's how important your nutrition is when it comes to this. So being that the scale kind of hasn't been budging, I'm stuck at 237. I'm sick of 237. Like, it's been weeks now. I thought we're gonna track macros and we're gonna change our macros, and it's a new month, so we're gonna try a new challenge. So my personal challenge for the month of February, which today is the 29th of January, but for the month of February, I'm going to track my macros. And that's something that is something so easy, that's something that gives you that immediate feedback. It also brings a lot of your awareness to what you're eating, and it's just a great tool to utilize when you're trying to make those changes in your diet. Because sometimes when it, like a scoop gets generous, and it doesn't look like that at the time, but when you measure that scoop out from like day 1 versus day 30, that scoop gets bigger. So it's just a great way to just be aware of what you're eating, and also to see what goes into your food, to see if you're hitting what you think you're getting. So it's a great way to get that instant feedback and also get the scale moving again, once you've got these new revelations. So I'm going to be tracking my macros, and I'm going to use Carb Manager. Or I might use MyFitnessPal. I'm not sure, but those are the two I typically use. There's a lot of them out there. They're free. Download one and do it. And then the next thing is, as far as my nutrition, being that the scale hasn't budged in a couple of weeks, I'm going to switch the macros up. I am not die-hard keto anymore. I am more low carb, high protein. So I'm going to select the low carb, high protein, moderate fat option in my, the presets that are in the Carb Manager macro. So I'll put my macros that I'm selecting on the screen here. Like I said, I'm after a high protein way of eating. So that means I'm going to be targeting 182 grams of protein per day, 81 grams of fat, 91 grams of carb, and 1,800 calories. Now, that is for what my macros have been calculated based on my activity level, where I work out every single day, Monday through Friday. So, and then also the 1,800 calories is based off of my height, weight, age, activity level. And I'm also making sure that I'm eating enough, because I am working out for an hour a day. So sometimes when I don't work out and I just focus on nutrition, I will have a lot smaller amount of calories, more like the 15 to 1600 range. But being that I'm working out, you have to make sure you eat. It's just part of the process. So that's why I'm at 1800 calories. And I'm 237 pounds. So of course I get to eat more than somebody who's, 100 pounds, right? So all of the macros can be calculated in those like little calculators for you. You can tweak them and do at the end of the day what makes you happy and what you can stick to. If you cut it so much, you won't be able to stick to it. If you make it so strict, you won't want to stick to it. So find a balance, a healthy balance, and chip away at it every day so it doesn't feel like a diet. It's just a lifestyle change. It's just what you do. So that's my thought process behind changing my macros, tracking my macros, and I'll be weighing all of my food. It'll be tedious, but it's a great way to just really narrow down on what am I doing here, because it's instant feedback. I'm like, oh, when I make that scoop and it's a lot smaller than it should be, okay, well, I need to have some more, or, vice versa. When you track protein, 182 grams of protein is a lot of protein, so I've got to get real creative to get that amount in. And sometimes I think I'm getting that amount, but I'm not. So it's just that immediate feedback to see, okay, I wasn't hitting my macros, and that's why X, Y, Z. So the next thing, when it comes to being tedious and logging all of your food and using a food diary such as Carb Manager or MyFitnessPal, it takes discipline. So let's talk about discipline for a second. When I think of discipline, I have an excellent quote. I don't know who says it. It's been saved in my phone since I began my journey. But the quote says, and I'll put it on the screen here, discipline is just choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So the interesting thing is when I'm in the heat of the moment and I'm stressed out about something, I'm emotional about something, because I'm an emotional eater, right? So when I'm in that moment and I see a piece of chocolate or something, the discipline in that moment means to me, when I consider myself disciplined, I can say no to that chocolate and I can pivot to a healthier coping mechanism, like go out to the garage gym, go for a walk, read my book, do something else to pivot away from that old habit of just giving into the chocolate, So the discipline to me, that's what that speaks to me is, what do I want most? Do I want to make the change and change my life and truly make the change? Or do I want that chocolate? And there's where the discipline, and there's where, the journey can get off track real quick, is that matter of discipline. What do you want more? Do you want to fix it with that food right now? Or do you want to make the changes that are long-term? It's like, that's what I want most, right? So that discipline quote really always reminds me in that heat of the moment when I just want to, have that chocolate, and using that as an example, versus going and do something about the emotion instead. The discipline is going to make or break your journey. And that when you're disciplined, you care about your goals, you care about your health, you care about what it does to your health, you care about the long-term impact. Like, you take that discipline and you take it seriously. When you're not disciplined, that's when all hell breaks loose. The roller coaster ride starts going of the yo-yo, where you're good today, but you're off tomorrow, and you're going to get back on it, and then the following day, and then you're off because something else happens, and you're just riding that roller coaster of emotions of self-destruction, right? So that discipline is going to play a key factor in your journey. So remind yourself, when you're about to make that choice, remind yourself the discipline. And what do you want more? What do you want, that chocolate right now to fix things? Or do you want to fix things for good the right way and pivot to a healthier way to cope? Meaning you might need to take that extra 20 minutes and make a salad versus going out and picking something up on the way home from work or whatever through a drive-through, a takeout food style. Or you're going to take that minute to stop at the grocery store on the way home, grab something that you can easily make that's a better choice, and make it at home. So the discipline is going to go a long ways, and the discipline has been a hurdle for me because we're busy, right? This is life. It's not easy to constantly, always do the right thing, and it's a battle. but it's a battle you can win if you're disciplined. So that is my 2 cents for this week. Think about it. Track those macros again if the scale's not budging. We are approaching the second month of the year. A lot of people give up by now on their health goals because of the New Year's resolution. I'm here to remind you, choose yourself first, no matter what. This year has to be about you. So with that said, I will see you at the next one. I'm Jess, you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye!
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flame. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, then 4th on the next. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 4th.